Hi, my name is Josh Hoffman. I am the Chief Marketing Officer and Head of Operations at BlockGroup. Welcome to this masterclass about brand storytelling for blockchain brands. I want to start out by telling you about two great examples of how different brands have used brand storytelling to create real meaningful results. So the first one is Subway, which you definitely know. And there's a great story actually about how Jared Fogle, pictured here, how he became the spokesperson for Subway. It started out in 1999. He was grossly overweight and he was a college student in Indiana, and he wanted to figure out, how can I lose a lot of weight really fast? So on his campus there was a Subway really close to where he lived, and he started going there twice a day and having 2 sandwiches a day to try to lose weight. 6 months later, he lost a lot of weight. The college newspaper got a hold of it. Soon after that, the local media got a hold of it, and then eventually Subway found out about his experiment and hired him to become their spokesperson. And so what this did for Subway, putting a real person with a real story to their brand, it allowed them, just after his first national commercial, to increase sales by 200%. And over the course of about a decade working together with him and creating that ongoing narrative of, again, a real person with a real story tied to their brand, sales had more than tripled, from more than 11 billion to about 11.5 billion in 2011. In fact, Tony Pace, who's the chief marketing officer for Subway, says that Jared was to thank for 1/3 to 1/2 of Subway's growth during this time frame. So crazy results tied to brand storytelling for Subway. The other example I want to tell you about is from Refinery29, which is a women's lifestyle website. They tested a storytelling ad campaign to one customer segment, and to the other segment, they tested a traditional subscribe ad. In the storytelling ad, Refinery29 first told its story, then provided product information, and then invited people to subscribe. And what they found over the course of this 12-day period was that there was an 87% increase in people visiting the landing page from the storytelling ads, and a 56% increase in subscription rates from those storytelling ads. So again, using brand storytelling to create tremendous results. So let's talk about more about brand storytelling, what it is, why it matters, before we get into how you can build your brand narrative, another term for brand storytelling, and amplify it, and so on and so forth. And so we know that people are 20 more times likely to retain information from stories than they are from data and statistics. That's according to the Stanford Graduate School of Business. And so what does that mean for us in terms of what is story? A story abides by these 3 criteria. First, it's an account of people and events told for entertainment. It's also an account of the evolution of something. So it's not just your about page on your website, or it's not just a singular blog post or video, but it's several pieces of content distributed over a extended period of time that allows you to tell people where your brand came from, where it is today, and where it's going in the future. And it's also a narrative designed to interest, amuse, as well as instruct. And so we see a lot in the blockchain space. We see a lot of instruction. We see a lot of stories and content about events. But what I really want to hone in on here is that we need more content about people, the evolution of our brands, again, from where we were to where we are today to where we're going. And we need content that's more interesting and amusing, and not just talking to the tech and the product and the service, but involving more people, involving more entertainment, etc., etc. We also know that if people love a brand, at least according to Headstream, 55% of them are more likely to buy a product from that brand at some point. And so when we talk about what makes a brand lovable, first, one of my favorite quotes from Johnny Wada, who's the chief marketing officer at IBM, he says, "Your brand is not what you sell." So we're not talking about products and services when we talk about brand storytelling. We're talking about the amorphous construct that is a brand, something you can't touch, you can't necessarily use, but something that you can experience. And experience is driven by emotions, right? Can I relate to this? Do I see myself in this? Is this interesting? Does this deserve my time and attention? Is this enjoyable? Does it make me feel good? And can I trust this brand? Do I believe in it? And finally, when we talk about emotions, because that's really what brainstorming is all about, we're talking about the fact that emotions, not facts, not figures, not data, not cold, hard information. Emotions influence our loyalty, our trust, and our intention to buy from a brand. And again, your brand is not what you sell. And so when we're looking at examples of emotions, we need to see more content that's joyful, inspiring, motivating, intriguing, surprising, humorous, exciting, builds confidence. And when we're able to create this sort of emotion-driven content, again, ongoing over an extended period of time in different formats, then we're able to really connect on a deeper level with our customers, with investors, with community, with partners, and with all the different people that make up your target audience. Because right brain dominance is the new source of competitive advantage, at least according to Daniel Pink, who's a New York Times bestselling author. And what we want to focus on with brand storytelling is synthesizing the tech, the left side of the brain, and the facts and the figures and all the great information with emotion-driven storylines and narratives to basically get the best of both worlds. It's not about hyping your project. It's about creating a narrative that resonates with your audience in the long run. It's about building tremendous brand associations.